It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos. It's raining tacos.
Hello, and welcome to episode 20 of the Delta Co Fireteam Chat podcast. This week, we have the Monster Hunter himself, Ronan LD. We got No Face and Krakenfall. How you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Very good.
Yeah, that's great.
Great way to end the week or start the weekend, however you want to look at it, hanging out with the tacos.
Either way.
TGIF.
Yeah, right. No kidding. Mm-hmm. So, as we normally like to start off, what have you guys been playing this week? All right, next question.
Right. I like how, so just so everyone knows, we actually do come up with like agendas every week for the show. Now, granted, it may be like 2 seconds before the show, but somehow we always forget to like put an order in of like who's going to answer like the question we ask every week. It's like, oh, who's going to answer first? Maybe we should figure that out. We never do that.
Nope.
But since I'm already talking, what I'll say is that I actually have been playing a little bit of the Warframe online, and that's been pretty cool. I've been running around with Rao and Frick. So I think they have a pretty standard Friday night run, but I'm going to be exhausted after this podcast. It's really going to take it out of me, so I don't know if I'll make that run tonight. But it's pretty cool. If any of y'all are into Warframe, you should try and join us on Friday nights at roughly this time.
Rao started playing it on Xbox.
Recording, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, but Rao started playing on Xbox One, so I think he's trying to get an Xbox group going along with the PC group.
Oh, that's cool.
I
don't play it on Xbox One.
Is it cross-platform?
No, but it's
he's got 2 different groups. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Well, I think he's trying to get an Xbox group going. He posted in chat about who's interested in an Xbox Warframe group.
Is that the poll?
I saw him playing.
Is that the poll? I didn't see what the poll was.
Yeah, that was the poll.
Oh, okay.
That was the poll.
Cool. What about you, Kraken? What's going on?
I haven't really played much this week. I did log on for a bit of Overwatch. It's been the first time in like a couple weeks. And that was fun. I gained some SR. It was great. But that was like one night for like an hour and a half. I kind of haven't really been playing games. My work is starting. It's like a big new project that I'm on, and I don't know. There's a lot of technical research and stuff, so I've been doing a lot of work at home, just kind of like for my own projects, like learning stuff so I can use it at work. But I've been working on TacoBot. That's mostly. I did purchase Tacoma, which is made by the creators of Gone Home.
Yeah.
So it is, a quote unquote walking simulator, but it was on sale for 50% off, and it's got great reviews. So I'm going to play that soon. I think it's a VR game.
Nice.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
No, it's not.
No. Oh, darn.
But it's like a space-based find out what happened kind of game. So
way to go on the quick correction there with the VR.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the page open in front of me, so I'm cheating.
Right. Well,
I thought you just accessed your memory that quickly.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing like one specific thing. I've been really busy this week with work and personal lives. So I've been, I still have my Switch. I've been playing that a lot when I can, kind of on the road. Mostly Mario Odyssey. That game is phenomenal. It's really good. If you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend it. That Mario Kart. I fired up the Division the other day, but I didn't really get to play a whole lot. But hopefully I'll be able to play a little bit more this weekend. But other than that, that's pretty much it for me. So.
Well, as Audio mentioned in the intro, I've been pretty much hardcore in Monster Hunter. And funny thing is, so I bought it on PS4, and my guy's like 61 on there. I bought it on Xbox One, and my guy's like 14 on there right now. And I've actually been playing with Odd and Looter, and I don't know. I mean, I've been having a blast. I know Kraken and even you, Audio, have tried it, but I don't know if you guys have. I don't know if you guys have caught on quite as well as I have.
I have not, and that's just
Wow,
one of the,
he's calling you a scrub, man.
No,
He
no, you know,
could wipe
and
the
it's
floor
fine.
with you.
I'd never played Monster Hunter before, and I started playing it, and I immediately realized that, like, if you had not played Monster Hunter in the past or are not familiar with these types of games, it is extremely overwhelming, and it's kind of complicated and messy at first.
It is.
But I still have it, and I haven't gotten rid of it. I still want to like play with you guys or run with you because I feel like because I've been playing it by myself this whole time, and I feel like if I run it with like-minded individuals such as yourselves, I might grasp on a little bit quicker if I'm having more fun with it. So
You make a really good point, Audio, because I was telling Ronan via like instant message that I was like not really enjoying it right now, and there's a bunch of reasons for that besides like poor design and some other like issues with the game.
the
poor
UI is
design in
horrible.
some elements.
Yeah.
Like I just wasn't digging it, and it's hard to get into. I could just see a ton of repetition ahead of me. But I think I need to do two things for Monster Hunter at least, and Ron, you can probably tell me whether that might help to get me more engaged. In one is switch the weapon I'm using because
Yeah.
Glaive is really, really repetitive. Like, okay, jump up, burst, attack the guy, try and get on top of him, knock him down, attack him a bunch of times, and then rinse and repeat. So I'm probably gonna have to switch weapons, and then also I'm gonna have to play with you guys more. So I'm gonna make a selfish request of you, Ronan, like when you're on, let me know.
I will.
Show me your ways,
And,
senpai. Show me your ways.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like the biggest thing with it is if you're not having fun, usually switching weapons changes the playstyle so much that it's almost like a brand new experience. So yeah, that's one of the things I would recommend. But talking about the UI, the game was released in 2004 on the PS2, and I was looking at it. The UI hasn't really changed since then, and I think I mentioned it in chat at one point. And I played on my iPhone actually, and I brought it up on there, and the UI is like the font, the UI, it looks almost the same as it is on the Xbox One and the PS4, and on a mobile device on a small screen, it you don't mind it as much. But I think on the Xbox One, it's just so hard to gather the information you need from it, and so yes, I've played it. I think because of that, I was more used to it. But the UI needs work, needs a lot of work.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The game is great. Like, there were a lot of times where I was just like, oh, right, this game, it's fun. Like, I'm having a really good time with it. But then I get to a certain part and it's like, okay, I could really use some teammates. And I'd sit there for a really long time. And I was just like, fuck this game. But I really like it, but fuck this game. Like, it's just, I'm torn, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start timing how long in each podcast it is before Audio curses. Like that. I'm gonna start a running tally.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Every podcast, you always like drop an F-bomb, and I'm like, that really makes me have to like flag things as mature or edit it out, but it's fine. So I'm just gonna start like, oh man, we should start like a pool. Like, so at the beginning of like before we release the podcast, we like have people place bets on what minute. Like, you can buy a square for what minute Audio is going to drop the F-bomb in. Oh, but then people would like pay you off. Okay, we'll look into it. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, well, I might have my people talk to your people. We'll talk about it. So, normally we would have some Destiny 2 stuff to talk about, but nobody played Faction Rally this week.
No one has Destiny 2 stuff to talk about.
So nobody played Faction Rally, so we're just not even going to talk about that. So we're going to do something a little differently here. So we are going to go around the table, and we are going to interview each person. And we're going to ask, how many questions do you want to ask? Just one per person? Does that sound good?
At a time, yeah.
Yeah. So, we're going to try this out. This is new. So I guess I'll go first. Let's see. Ronan, I have a question for you, sir.
Oh.
All right. So What would be put inside a mental health first aid kit?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's
Like mine or for
Yeah,
my kids or
What would be put inside a mental health first aid kit? Like if you were just giving out some general advice, just like, for people like, hey, what
That's
this
pretty
is
heavy.
what works for me.
like
kind of thing?
something that I'm not trying to knock your age, but you've got some miles on you, man. So I just thought
Some wisdom.
some wisdom would be nice.
well, I'm gonna say a flask of Fireball because I really enjoy
knew it was gonna be
that
alcohol.
spicy burning down your throat. It helps you forget about problems. Both.
God,
So yeah,
You got some wisdom on you there.
that's what I'm gonna say.
that's well, I'll take that. I can agree with that.
Well, what would other people put in a little health emergency kit?
So right away, I'm gonna say hydration and nutrition, because those things, when you're mentally ill, you don't really think about self-preservation necessarily. It depends on, of course, upon the mental illness, but like a lot of times, at least for like depression and anxiety, like that's something that goes by the wayside. So make sure that you're hydrating and make sure that you are eating, and then have a friend that you can talk to. It doesn't necessarily to be to vent or like relieve stress. Just like have a friend that you can go to, who's willing to listen to you. I mean, and if you don't know, just ask, and go talk to them for whatever. That's my mental health kit.
What about you, No Face?
Oh,
I just thought, I mean,
cracking
in
stole my answer. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like comfort food and friends. Like I don't know, like go buy a half gallon of ice cream and like sit in a corner and sob
out.
with your friends as you all get mad. Like no. So I actually am being somewhat serious about that. Like food, despite the health benefits, actually does like make you feel better. And I'm going to be completely honest. I know Audio and Crack know this, but my grandmother I was really close to, she passed away on Wednesday. And honestly, that was one of the things that actually, I was telling him, I just got in from driving back from the Rosary. And that was one of the things I'm like, I really want to hang out with Audio, Kraken, and Ronan tonight. Like that's one of the things that I really want to do. So friends, even if you're not talking about your problems, make them seem smaller. So thanks, guys. I'm making a little heart thing with my hands.
Oh, anytime, man.
Well, definitely sorry to hear about that, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
You're sorry to hear that we're friends? I knew it.
No.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
No face
Don't.
every time.
I love this group.
It's great. So I originally asked Ronan a question, and then you guys just kind of bounced off of it. So do I get to lose 2 questions, or do I still get to ask 2 more questions?
No, let's just go around.
go.
Maybe we
Yeah,
should
go
try
for
and
it.
keep our responses shorter. But so it's my turn, and my question is for No Face. So No Face, I understand that you say bad things. No, I'm joking. I understand.
I do say bad things.
I
I think he's
understand
trying
that
to
you're
call me a racist.
no.
It's because
No, I'm not.
because you're brown.
It is
Guys,
because I'm brown.
guys, I'm interviewing No Face right now. No Face, you're into photography.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into photography?
Ooh, that is actually a really good question. So, I've kind of always enjoyed photography. For those of you who don't know, I am a wedding photographer. I love photography. I'm not a big fan of weddings, but hey, it happened.
That sounds like a movie, like The Wedding Photographer.
We're also going to link his contact information down below. So
Oh yeah.
Oh.
if you need,
Wait, are we? Why?
I was
Why
joking,
not?
but if you want
I just
to,
I just admitted that I don't like weddings. Like, hey, if you want somebody that's gonna be miserable at your wedding taking pictures of you, call me. I'm also very
think we
good at
should-
marketing, just so everyone knows.
We should link
No,
you
but-
just so that you can get more weddings to go to.
Yeah, for real. That'd be pretty funny.
So
He'll never be on the podcast.
The answer to that, to Crack's question, is that I've always kind of been into photography, and it just so happened that I was kind of decent at it. I never really took any formal classes or anything like that. But like because I really I started out like developing my own pictures and everything. That's how long I've been doing photography. I had like an enlarger and all that sort of stuff. And so I learned how to do stuff like the old school way, and it was really inexpensive. And we were like growing up, we were fairly poor. So like I developed like 6 of my own pictures or something like that. It was not something I could do real often. But when digital photography came out when I was in college, I like sold a kidney basically and ended up, buying a digital SLR camera and have kind of been doing it ever since. Got into architecture photography, which I thought was awesome, but didn't pay the bills. So I became a wedding photographer because I had friends that were doing it. And so I worked with them a lot. And that's kind of how I really got into photography.
What do you sorry, follow up, because we're probably not going to talk about photography again. What do you like about photography? Like what makes it cool to you?
So I don't know. It's weird because there's a bunch of different aspects, but basically for those of you who don't do photography, like you understand, like I'm sure you understand that like there's like shutter speed and aperture, and you may not understand how all that plays together, but there's a lot of math and sciences involved with it, and I'm what's known as a nerd, and so that really, really like interests me. But like on a more kind of like emotional sense, it is really cool to actually take a subject and capture that like instant in time, and like I really don't know how to describe it, but you're basically taking life and taking like a literal snapshot. You are taking someone's life and you're condensing that instant down into all, like trying to capture all the emotions and feelings and everything of that subject, whether it be a building or a person or an animal or whatever. You're condensing that all down into a bunch of tiny colored dots. And that is really, really neat. Like you're basically encapsulating, and that's why, there's all that stereotype, like, say, oh, they think the camera's going to steal your soul. Like that, yes, I am trying to steal the soul of whatever I'm taking a picture of so that everyone else can see it. That may be weird, but that's really how I feel.
No, that's cool. Like you're capturing the moment to show to the audience, and like it when it works out so that technically it's pleasing, where you got the golden ratio and the rule of thirds and everything that's working out. Like to have that, and then also to like show the moment, and so that everything is aligned and shows what you're capturing. No, I get that. That's cool.
That is pretty cool. Here, I'm gonna share. Like I actually like photography a lot as well, and I had an old D40, but and I feel like
Nikon, right?
yeah, Nikon.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like phones nowadays have gotten almost to the point where it's easier to carry on a phone. It's not as, you don't have as much control,
Right.
but
Versatility.
yeah. Hey, No Face, I'm gonna post a picture or a link in chat.
Okay.
This is like my favorite. I took this picture at a graduation, and I feel like this is my favorite picture I've ever taken in my
Holy
life.
crap!
Wow,
that's
graduation?
that's a cool picture.
Yeah,
That is really cool. So if
Okay,
for listeners,
yeah.
that's what the D40. But yeah, I love photography. But being having 2 boys, I get very little chance at it.
Yeah, I hear you.
So
You just have to be that dad that you stalk your kids and photograph everything
That's
they
true.
do.
that's true.
for those listening, the picture is of a woman with her baby. She's got kind of a shawl, like rain protector, on her hair, and she's kind of looking off away from the photographer, from Ronan. And it's in a sea of people. Like they're all they've got their backs to Ronan, but she is facing the camera for some reason. Like the graduates are blurred behind in the background. there's a guy like taking a picture, like, but you can't really see him, he's blurred out. But this woman like perfectly in focus, and the baby's like staring straight at the camera, but the lady's looking off some. It's like there's it's a great picture, Ronan. Really,
Yeah.
it's really good.
If you read it, it's totally our accidental renaissance. That's what this is.
And Ronan, if you don't care, like whenever we edit the podcast, do you care if we just like put the picture in the video so people
no.
can
I
actually
mean,
see it?
it's. I took it a long time ago, but no, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Cool. Ronan, what's your question?
And I think this is more for everyone. What is a guilty pleasure of yours? And it can be anything.
Ooh.
Food, movie, book, whatever. Guilty pleasure.
That's a tough
Why don't
one.
Way
you-
audio.
Yeah, why don't you pick someone to
Audio.
start?
Yeah.
Guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure, man. That's a pretty open-ended question for me. I mean, mine is probably going to be like media related. So
Don't tell me that you love. Oh God, Silverchair. Is it Silverchair?
I have no idea what that is.
The band?
It was a band of like 3 kids that was popular for a second. And
Oh, you mean Hanson?
Like 20 years ago?
You mean like Hanson?
no, not Hanson. I think. Anyway, go ahead. I'm gonna look it up. I think it was Silverchair. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, it's just like I don't want to delve too deep into this, but like just growing up, I was really like an only child, and my dad was the one that raised me. I didn't have a mother, so I mean I had a mother, but I wasn't with her growing up. But anyways, it's just like I sat in the house a lot and I watched a lot of TV, and it was kind of like a comfort for me because my parents just got divorced. But watching like even growing up as an adult, watching the shows that I watched when I was a kid, they kind of bring back like a comfort for me. It's always been like that. I'm 32 years old now, and I was watching this stuff when I was like 6, and even watching it now, it still brings me like a form of comfort.
It's like a mental safety blanket.
Yeah, kind of. I know I didn't mean to get too deep, but that's really the only thing that I could think of. Oh yeah, and basically any 90s pop, or basically any music from the 90s. You can even ask my wife when we're in the car. We found this station on Sirius Radio. It's just like nothing but like hip hop and like rock hits from the 90s. Yo, all day, every day. I'll turn that shit up no matter what song it is. For real.
No face.
So guilty pleasure, it would almost certainly have to be the cocaine and hookers. That's probably what it would
Nay.
be.
Oh my gosh.
But if I had to pick a third one, so right now, so I don't really like sweets. Like I don't eat cakes or candy or anything. That's really not my thing.
You
But
serious?
occasionally, like every few months, I'll be in the store and I'm like, what sounds really good right now? Cookie dough. So like right now in my refrigerator, there's a half-eaten like loaf of cookie dough or whatever it's called, because last time I was in the store, I was like, hey, there's cookie dough on the sale for like 2 for $5 or whatever. And then I got home, ate half a loaf of cookie dough, and I was like, I hate myself. And yeah. So that's I binge terrible foods is kind of what I do.
Nice.
And you're joking about the cocaine and hookers, right?
Well, that wouldn't be a
yeah.
guilty pleasure.
I
would think.
wouldn't be surprised. JK,
Yeah. So just so
JK.
everyone knows, no, I don't do drugs. And no, I don't do hookers either. Like it just no. There's so many things wrong. So many things I disagree about with both of them. I would. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna stop talking about that. But no, yes, I was
Yeah, you're-
joking about the cocaine and hookers.
Your sarcasm is legendary. So, guilty pleasures for me, I probably have too many of them, and as I'm finding out, I need to stop some of them because I'm getting kind of fat. I have a sedentary job, and like I'm not working out right now because of reasons. So I need to stop that. So like I'm stealing No Face's answer partially, but like
Cocaine and hookers.
no
Oh,
cookie dough.
oh, sorry.
Actually,
Sorry.
ice cream.
Wrong part.
I my wife brought home. You know when you go into like an ice cream shop, and you're like pointing out the ice cream that you want, and it's in these giant like like these tubs, these cylindrical tubs,
Yes.
and they like scoop it out like just from an ice cream shop. My wife brought home 2 of those from one of her friends who owns.
It's on his Instagram for those of you who
Yeah.
who want to check it out.
And I
someone
like go
post
ahead.
that. Post that. I want to see that.
Yeah, no, if you don't have an Instagram, I'll post it, but it's on my Instagram. But yeah, I freaking love ice cream so much. That's one of those things that like my dad used to like love ice cream when I was a kid, and I sort of picked that up. So yeah, ice cream, and I don't know. I don't really believe in guilty pleasures unless it's actually something that's bad, which then it's not a guilty pleasure. It's like a crime.
Crime.
But I've lately, if I were to answer like seriously, pop music that I used to judge, which I'm not a super judging person in the first place, but there was some pop music that I was just like, no, I'm not going to listen to that. That's stupid, and I hate it, and it's like making my ears bleed. But like lately, my comfort zone has been expanding, and I've kind of been on a quest to expand my comfort zone as far as like, what do you call that? I don't remember. Anyway,
Like broaden your horizons.
yeah, exactly. And because, the more music you enjoy, because I freaking love music, the more music you enjoy, the more there is to enjoy. So,
Yep.
like, I've been listening to a lot of pop music. Like,
Examples?
I mean, so an extreme example is like, there are some Miley Cyrus songs that I actually like. And like Kanye, a little harder to get into his full repertoire because I usually like to like get into an artist, and if I actually like them, if I say, oh yeah, I like that artist, chances are I've listened to their whole discography. Like, so I can't really do that with Kanye yet, but like there are some of his songs that I like. I listen to the music and the beats and stuff first. I listen to the lyrics later, so I can't tell you what the songs are or even what they're about. But yeah, that's definitely something that's what you would call quote unquote a guilty pleasure for me. Like Rihanna, I really like Rihanna. And if you knew anything about my listening tastes like before, that would be like, who even are you right now?
Wait. So are you talking Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus or Wrecking
Yeah.
Ball Miley Cyrus?
Wrecking Ball Miley Cyrus.
Oh, nice.
Before she lost her fucking mind and got all crazy.
Apparently she's
after.
back to not crazy, but whatever. I
What?
don't know. I don't follow
she calmed down.
celebrity drama. Audio?
He already answered.
Oh, whoa,
So-
whoa. Hold up now. No Face has not asked a question yet.
Oh.
Oh, I'm
And,
sorry.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
No, it's cool.
Oh,
It's
we
cool,
skipped
but
you.
we did skip me.
sorry.
But it's okay. It's okay. I'm here to remember me. So I do have, and since we haven't directed a singular question at Krakenfall, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, all right, Krakenfall, and we're going to go pretty deep here. All right, I want you to really think
no.
about this. All right.
Okay.
If you were a flowering plant, what kind of plant would you be and why? And now, and remember, this is not what you would want to be. This is what you would be. What type
Okay,
of
so-
flowering plant really encapsulates your personality?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to cheat and ask for your guys' interpretation of my personality. Just give me a couple traits.
I would say you're a fairly straight shooter. You've always called me out on my racist comments pretty directly.
Yeah.
You know what you like and what you don't like. I don't know what you would call that, but
Sure.
yeah, that whatever that word is, that word.
Decisiveness, maybe.
Decisive. There you go. Yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm really thinking of one. I mean, I like Krakenfall. He's a really nice guy. Like he's just he seems like a genuine guy. You know, like a really like humble, like pretty down to earth kind of guy. So
Okay, so I heard down to earth and genuine. I heard straight shooter, and I heard decisive. Now give me something that's like bad, because that was a lot of like nice, sweet stuff.
You get
Sorry,
salty.
you're draconian in your rule of the
Oh my
Discord
gosh!
server.
You know what? I'm striking that one out.
You can I'm just going to say this. You get salty very quickly.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so salty.
I've played Trials with you before. Trust me, I know.
Judgmental.
I'm judgmental.
You judge people left and right
Oh
all
no!
the time.
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, we gotta talk about that later because I'd like to know what you're actually meaning. Because I don't know, I'm the kind of person that is a bit introspective, and so if I have a blind spot, I want to know that blind spot. Anyway, okay, so decisive, genuine, salty, and straightforward. As a plant?
Flowering plant.
A flowering. Okay, thank you. So that okay, so I was gonna go for like a sea, like an ocean plant or something, like algae of some kind or kelp. But it's got to be flowering. So
Yeah, I wouldn't say kelp flowers.
no, it doesn't.
It has pods, but I wouldn't call those flowers. Because it's not. It definitely does not have a seed bearing apparatus.
I am gonna say lily pad.
Okay.
Um,
Why?
because I like to flow where the current takes me, but I'm still grounded. And I like water. Wait, it's all I like water, and I get to hear the rain in a great way, and I get to hear the frogs at night.
That's a pretty solid answer.
That's a really good answer. That's honestly way better than I
Than you were
probably could have come up
expecting?
with. No, than I could have come up with.
Wow, those expectations, man. That's
I'm not gonna say I picked a ridiculous question, specifically for you. I'm just saying there was a ridiculous question. You happen to be the only one that hadn't really had a question asked of them yet.
Yeah, that is true.
right. So I have a question for Krakenfall.
Oh.
All right. So, if you had to replace your hands with objects already in your house,
Oh.
what would you replace your hands with?
Guitars. Wait, no, I couldn't play them.
Wait.
Exactly. You could learn how to play with your feet.
No.
Hey,
No,
That's
I
pretty
would.
flexible.
yeah, man. If you were flexible and nimble, you
Are they-
might-
Hard.
Are they
It's very
invincible
open.
objects?
It's
Or
open
do they?
ended. It's whatever you want. It's open ended.
Okay, so I'll just say that they're invincible. So whatever I use won't decay.
Wow.
Oh man, this is tough. Can I?
No, it's whatever you want. I think I broke him.
Yeah, you did. I don't know.
What?
One
Okay.
hand-
Okay.
one
so
hand would be-
what? You can. Okay, I'll narrow it down for you. Something that you would use every single day, and why?
Yeah, no, I'd have to use it. Oh, I see.
Because
You're
they're his
restricting.
arms. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's saying like something that I use. The object that I choose has to be something that I
yeah,
use.
okay.
And that's already in your house. It can't be outside your house. Inside your house.
Okay. So I'm gonna make a fantasy rule breaker, which is I would use a keyboard because then I could hook it into whatever and just like transmit my thoughts into typing.
Is it a USB keyboard or like a PS2? Is it mechanical or what are we looking at here? Let's get some specifics.
Does it have RGB?
Okay, I withdraw that answer.
What?
Something that I use every day.
Yeah.
My keys.
Gotta be.
You would still be able to drive. That's actually a good call.
Yeah. You could use that key to pick up your food and put it in your mouth.
Right. Right, they would be like makeshift fingers.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, can I throw an answer out there that Krakenfall might be able to use?
Okay.
What's that?
So, do you have a KitchenAid mixer in your house?
I don't use it every day though.
Oh, yeah, but I'm saying, but you have a KitchenAid mixer, right?
I mean, I have like a blender, if that's what you mean.
No. Okay.
Oh,
so, like,
yes,
the
KitchenAid mixer. I have one of those. Yes, I do.
Yeah, and the
Got
reason I
as
say
a wedding
KitchenAid
gift.
because if you notice on the front of them, they have that little like
The
cap
hook
or whatever. Well, it's because there's like a billion different attachments for the
Yeah.
KitchenAid mixer. So what
Yeah,
I'm saying,
it's the
if you
dough
have one of
mixer.
those in your
The-
house,
Yo.
Okay. This is completely stupid, but I would want to have a hook for a hand. So I would pick the dough mixer, the hook dough mixer. So yeah, my keys and a dough mixer. I wouldn't be able to play video games and I'd get depressed for the rest of my life, but yeah, I'd pick those.
well, if you could individually control each key, and then you've got at least like kind of one hand, and then you've got a hook for the other one to maybe move a mouse around.
Yeah. I'd also go bankrupt because I wouldn't be able to do my job. Oh wait, no. It would be really slow though.
Good Money says you could file for disability.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I asked No Face a question. Ronan,
Yo.
what is your favorite part about being a dad?
Ooh, good question.
Really, right now, I feel like it's thinking of the things that I'm going to do with my kids. You know, I kind of have things that I want to do with them, like for the first time. You know, like playing the games with them for the first time. And I've already done first things with them, but I don't know. I guess I imagine and I think about the things that I'm going to do with them, and that's that for me. I think is the best part, knowing that I'll be able to do these things with my kids. You know, I'm also, as a side note, I'm hoping that I'm not screwing them up too much because
Man,
I
tell me about it.
fear-
Jeez.
I fear that I'm screwing them up for their lives. But Yeah.
I think you're doing all right. Of
yeah,
course, I don't, actually never met you. I've never met your kids, so no, that's a profoundly like happy answer, and that actually
That is
makes
really
me a
cool,
little
yeah.
happy.
Yeah,
I can second that. So I've been there. Trust me.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. No Face.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and ask Audio a question this time. All right, so Audio, a movie is being made about your life. What is the name of the movie and who is playing you?
Oh shit. Wow. Fuck, man. I really don't know, to be honest with you. A lot of people said that, like as a kid, people were like, "Oh, well, you look like Napoleon Dynamite," or like you sound like him. I don't think so, but I haven't really like found anybody that looks like me. Probably the person I'd want to play would probably be Michael Cera.
Okay.
Yeah.
What movie?
Yeah, what's the name of the movie?
Oh, the name of the movie about me?
Oh yeah, what? Sorry, that was loud. What is the name of the autobiographical movie about you?
Man, that's the ups and downs of a confused human being.
Okay.
Yeah. That's like just literally right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm not
No,
very
that's
I'm not very good
acceptable,
with
though.
on
I like
spot
that.
answers. Well, I'm glad it's acceptable. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, I mean it's got that series of unfortunate events kind of a
Exactly.
tone to
That's
it.
what I was
Oh,
going for. Yeah.
I was thinking of Upside Down, but of a person that's just confused wherever they go. So like the person goes to different places and goes throughout their life, but like the entire time they're just confused and like all the emotions are
It
like,
could be
just-
that too. That could be the sequel, you know. Something happens and he's just confused all the time.
That's awesome. Good answer.
All right, I have a question. So it's short answer. Do you have lucid dreams, and what is something you've like? What can you do in your lucid dreams, like, or what's a dream where you've done something crazy? I guess.
And actually remembered it.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this for everyone?
Yeah, for everybody.
Okay, you got to
Oh.
pick someone now.
Kraken.
Okay. My dreams are weird. I have always wanted to be a lucid dreamer. Like I had a Wikipedia kick where I like researched a bunch of stuff about it, like being an Oneronaut or whatever that's called, Oneronaut. And I don't know. I know I could like start a job log. Wow. A dream log, and sort of like approach that. But I don't know. Sorry, what was your question? Do I have lucid dreams and what can I control it?
Yeah.
The answer is partially. I have had dreams. So I was having an issue. I think has to do with my nose and asthma and sinus inflammation that I get a lot. I just found out last year that I'm allergic to pretty much everything in Washington, which is wonderful.
Oh, no.
Like moss, mold, grass, trees, everything. But before I knew that, like I would have these issues while I was sleeping where my body was telling me to wake up because I was like leaning against my pillow in a way that was actually preventing me from breathing. Which is only my guess to why I was doing like that. But I would have dreams in which I was powerless and like just drifting or something. Like the one I really remember is when I was in college and I was dreaming of driving my dad's truck, which I learned to drive the stick on, to my childhood home. And I was driving on the road. It's like a 20-minute stretch to actually get to the neighborhood where I lived. And I remember driving in the dream and it was dark and someone was on the road and it was just it was really dark. I couldn't really see them except for their figure. And I was just driving and I like couldn't move anything. I couldn't move my legs, couldn't move my arms. And the car started drifting and I was like, I have to do something so I don't hit that person. But then it like suddenly felt like I was paraplegic or something. I don't know. I can only guess what that feels like, but like it felt like I was being shocked and my body couldn't handle it. And like, I was like, I got to wake up. I like realized it was a dream. I got to wake up. And I was like forcing it, like my will, like I was using my will to just like force myself out. And like, when I woke up, I was like straining to lift my head. And I realized that I just needed to breathe because I didn't have any breath. And so I was like, holy crap. And that's happened in some capacity a bunch of times, which I'm not, I don't have sleep apnea or anything like that. So it actually hasn't happened in a while, but I do have dreams where I want to wake up, whether it's a bad dream or, those weird times that I just explained. And I have to wake up. And so I make myself wake up. But as far as like, oh, I'm going to go here and fly and I'm going to like have a laser cannon for an arm and shoot that guy. And like, I can't do that. I wish.
That's I'm not gonna lie, that's actually a kind of a scary sort of thing you described there, like suffocating in your sleep or whatever. It would freak me out.
I'm not freaked out by it.
Well, you should. Like, you should be. That sounds like a pretty serious condition.
Well, like I said, it hasn't happened in a couple of years. And I don't have any confirmation on whether or not I actually cannot breathe. I don't know if it's like a function of like my mental state or if it's like just my body telling me to roll over or something like.
I have something kind of like that because I have a deviated septum, so I have a hard time breathing through my nose. When I sleep, I have a tendency to sleep with my mouth open because I can't breathe through my nose. And it's usually during the winter. Sometimes like my mouth will get so dry that even it goes down into like the top of my throat will get dry. And sometimes when I wake up, I feel like I might be choking. So what I do is I keep a cup of water, or I try to keep a cup of water by my bedside so I can just like swig it real quick and just kind of, because sometimes I'd wake up and I'd start to kind of freak out because like, fuck, I'm choking because my mouth is so dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know that's completely random, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, do you have lucid
So-
dreams though? Audio.
So lucid, I can't really recall anything that like I can control. But I mean, it's something that you know that I can remember. The only thing I can remember vaguely is it's actually something I can share. So like when my wife was pregnant with my first child, while she was pregnant, and it just kind of shows you like how close you can actually be with somebody, and like how like in sync you are, and just how close. And you know, and it's like I remember when she was really young in her pregnancy, like I remember having these dreams of like me sitting around with her and her family, and I could had dreams of my daughter before she was even born. And like I knew it was like, I knew like mentally, I knew it was her. You know, it's just that bond you have with your child. And I knew she was going to come out looking like my wife. And of course, you know, she came out looking just like my wife, but she acts like me, poor thing. But yeah. And
That's really cool.
yeah. And it's just, it's amazing that like when you find the right person and you want to spend the rest of your life with them, and it's just the bond that you have with each other, that it goes that deep. Like when you can dream those types of things and you remember them, that's when that's how you know, like, okay, this is real. This was, you know, but if you guys don't mind, I'd like to share one more thing.
Sure.
And this actually goes
go
back
ahead.
on the topic of guilty pleasures. So what I said wasn't really like a guilty pleasure. It was more of like something that I just really enjoy doing, like something that just gets me hyped. So, so I don't know, but I know No Face is single, but Krakenfall, like I don't know if
Thanks for calling me out there.
I'm
No
just
Face can't
I just
find
I
anyone
don't
to love him.
I don't know if you. Nah, man. But anyways, so like when my wife was pregnant, I started to get the sympathy pains, I guess, and the sympathy cravings. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
like, you know how pregnant women, they have their cravings. Well, with dads, it's, you know, you start to put on weight. Yo, I could kill some fucking Nutter Butters. Oh my God. Yo, like, I'm not even kidding. There was like this era of like almost a month where like I was just I'm talking about the big packages of Nutter Butters. I was eating them bitches all the time. Like I'd wake up in the middle of the night eating Nutter Butters. I'd buy a snack in the middle of the day as Nutter Butters. That's all I would ever eat. And I put on I put on a bunch of weight, but I mean anything with peanut butter in it, yeah, that's probably my guilty pleasure. But
Yeah, that's on my list.
Nice.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, like before, because I know we're gonna end up running long on this if I go too long, but my lucid dreaming experience, I can lucid dream. I don't really do it very much anymore. But like my favorite lucid dreaming experience was the first time I ever lucid dreamed. So since like I do a lot of work out of coffee shops, out of one particular one especially, so I get to know a lot of the baristas. And there was one of them that one day we just happened to be talking about like lucid dreaming, and she talked about how she did it and this and that. And so like a couple weeks later, I was in a dream, and all of a sudden I realized, I was like, wait a second, I'm controlling this, and I'm in a dream. And so my first thought was like, oh, I've got to go tell I won't use her real name. I'm like, oh, I have to go tell Felicity. Like I've got to go to the coffee shop and tell Felicity. And so in my dream, naturally, I fly to the coffee shop. I get there, and I'm like, hey, Joe, also known as his real name. I'm like, Joe, is Felicity working today? It's like, no. Why do you want to know? I'm like, oh, because I'm lucid dreaming. And he literally tells me in my dream, he's like, you're lucid dreaming, and you're trying to tell a real person about it in your dream. And I was like, oh, good point.
Your brain's
Me?
like, shut up, loser. It's like, oh,
So I was so disappointed. Like I was like, oh man, I was so excited about this lucid dream, and it got away from me anyway. So that's my
hilarious.
lucid dreaming experience. I mean, I lucid dream occasionally now, but not super often, but my first lucid dream was probably the most interesting one.
That sounds fun. That would probably make me laugh in the dream. It's like, oh yeah, I'm stupid.
I was really disappointed because I was like, man, because I was in Galveston when I started the dream, and then I flew all the way up to Bryan, which is like a 3-hour drive. So I mean, I was like, man, I'm tired from flying here, and I can't even really tell the person because they're not inside my head. So it was really disappointing.
Thinking about my dreams, I should probably do a dream log because a lot of my dreams lately, either I'm dreamless and it's just, sweet oblivion of sleep, or I have dreams that are actually like emotionally, I wouldn't say disturbing because that sounds harsh, but they're like emotionally upsetting. And when I wake up, it takes me a while to like, oh, right, that's not real. Okay, that's good. So I should probably start a dream log. Oh my gosh.
I remember, and I remember distinctly. This was in college, and I had a dream, and I remember I dreamed like a story from beginning. I like writing, by the way. Although I haven't done much. I also like drawing. I haven't done as much as either. But I remember I dreamt a story, and I remember thinking, "Man, this is a really good story." And I woke up, and I remembered it, and then about an hour later, I forgot it. And since then, I've been beating myself up because I forgot. And I remember just thinking, wow, I should write this down because this is an amazing story. And it's gone. It is gone.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And yes, I hate that feeling.
That's what happens to me when I'm daydreaming music. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. I should write that down. And then
I was just thinking the same thing.
Either I don't write it down and the song is gone forever, or I write it down and then I go back to it later to like, I should work on that a little bit. And I can't understand what I've written. I'm like, this makes no sense.
So, anybody else got anything else they want to talk about before we wrap this up?
I would just like to say that was really fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I learned something new about everybody.
Yeah. Very nice.
All right, so it's like going to plug a couple things here before we end it. I talked to the guys from the Saint 14 Project today, Average Joe and Sentinel Dad. So we are booked officially for May 19th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Saint 14 charity stream, which I believe it's for StackUp.org, and it's mostly based around suicide prevention. If you guys just keep listening, and we'll have some more updates. I was talking to them earlier, and we're going to be getting them on here pretty soon, probably mid to the end of April, closer toward the stream, and so looking forward to that. Also, if you guys want to contact us, you can find us on Twitter at DFCPod, or you can email us at deltacofireteamchat@gmail.com. Anything else, guys? You want to plug something?
If you want to look at Kraken Fall's ice cream, he is Krakenfall on everything, and he has it on his Instagram.
I've actually turned it to a private account, so
you can request to see his ice cream.
Yeah, I have a photography account that's public, which is a view of many. But yeah, it's private, so let me know.
So you're saying Kraken Falls ice cream brings all the folks to the yard?
Wow. Anyways, we'd like to thank you guys for listening, and we hope you have a great day. Peace.
Ice cream party!